All right, come on, man. Let's get serious right now. That was from my album in 2001 that I did in Ghana, Nigeria, and all that. But good album, damn good album. It didn't get released in the U.S. Did my opening with Busta Rhymes and Genuine.
The glucose serves as energy to these cells, or it can be converted into fat when needed. Insulin also affects other metabolic processes, such as the
Hey Google, shut up. See, when you have Google and Alexa all in your home, this is what happens. This is what happens. But as I was saying, that's one of the songs. Gave you that as me being lazy, didn't want to come on in time. But I'm gonna give you a little taste of the 12 tracks from my album in 2001, which is a new album. If you hear on YouTube, you hear it on YouTube in the recorded version, you will hear the beat. That beat is from my new single that's coming out in May, and my new album is coming out in June 1st. And haven't titled it yet, but the old album was called what was it called? The Secret of Pleasure and Pain. So that was 2001 when I did it with Busta Rhymes and Open Up for them and Genuine, and that's when I met Monica and this other girl that I actually dealt with. I don't even know her name. She was the first Monica. Oh my goodness, she's gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me, but she's gonna hate me right now. When she was the first Monica. Oh my goodness, I can't even recall her name. But anyway, it is what it is, man. Things are what they are. So it's like everybody talk about a lot, man. Everybody talk about a lot, what they do and everything. But you know what? I'm glad to be here. I was I was sitting here showing off all of my passports. I have so many. This my first passport. Let me go to my new passport. Let me show you what you guys need to do. I'll show you guys what you need to do. This is my new passport. You get double visas. That right there, but that's not the new one. That's not the new one. That's a permanent residency. Is it a permanent residency? That's the second one. Okay, here's the third one. Here's the third one. That's for 2 years. When you get your citizenship, you're going through that 2 years. The thing is, and I'm not supposed to say this, I don't have to go to Ghana and travel to smuggle passports in and do whatever it is that I want to do and get them stamped from immigration. I'm not saying that I did. I'm just saying that you need to know people. You have to know people. Because when you know people, you make good with people, you make them your family, you take care of them, you get whatever it is that you need. No matter what African country that you go to, I implore you to go. But I always say that you make good with them, you can do greater things than you think you can now. Things you can do over there, you can never do here. I have that. I've done it. And like I say, every day, I've done it on $30,000. $30,000 a year, $32,000, 32,000 up to 36 or 37, whatever it was, then 42,000. I've done all these things. 30,000, 37,000, 40,000 plus, whatever you want to say. I've done these things. I built a home over there with that money that had gotten at the time. I was going back and forth. I did that. I was able to build a house off small money. A house that would cost you a $500,000. I did that in Ghana. My house is on Airbnb. You guys know that my property is there on Airbnb, but I've done that off a small fraction of money. Very small fraction of money that we make here in the U.S. And I wasn't even here in the U.S. a lot. I would come here, work 6 months, get my little $20,000, go back and do what it is and continue what I was doing. So when I hear everybody saying that, oh, you got to be a high value man to do all these things, this, that, and the other, I didn't make over 6 figures until last year. Not till last year did I make 6 figures. It was the first time in my life that I made 6 figures. But before then, I already had my wife, I already had my home, I already had my land and more land. I had land in Kumasi, land in Dodawa, and I already built my home. We're talking about $30,000, $40,000 a year that I've done this on. And I already had my wife, my second wife in Ghana. But I've done this. So when people tell you that you need to make a large amount of money to do these things, absolute lie. Absolute lie. I've done it myself. I married the first one in Africa. It fell. Everything fell. Nothing went through because at the time I was a Jehovah's Witness. So when I realized that, you know what, this ain't for me, age of 34, I had to find out something different. But I had already wasted a whole lot of money. And by the time I was 35 years old, I had nothing at all. Nothing. I was living off of nothing. But I was still able to come back here and work just for 6 months. Just for 6 months and do everything that I have today. Land in 2 different regions. House in a 3rd region. A company in many regions. Incorporated it. To move here and buy cars and ship cars there. So when somebody tells you that, unless you have this amount of money and you're so rich that you got to do 6 figures, that's a lie. Like I said, I didn't do 6 figures till last year. Last year was the first time I actually did over $100,000, 160,000, whatever it was. Before then, the year before, I did 40. Year before that, I did 37. Year before that, I did 32. Year before that, I did 20. Year before that, I did 16. Year before that, I did 9,000. So don't let anybody tell you that what I'm preaching to you, you can't have. And I know this video is about Umar, and we're going to talk about that. But I just needed to let you guys know that everything, because I see a whole lot of videos. When I just came back again, only had to spend 2 weeks in Africa and Ghana to get what I needed for my citizenship and get it on par. With them 2 weeks, because I had my daughter born, I'm just like, before then, I lived many different years there. And I was able to do everything with small amounts of money. Because I had the mindset. And I didn't always have it. Because for the first 7 years that I lived in Ghana, yes, I had $100,000 plus. I blew $100,000 in 6 years. I blew $100,000 in 6 years' time because I was living from country to country, drinking and smoking, laying with women every single day, different women, 4 or 5 at a time in the bedroom. And it got me nowhere. Yeah, it was good for that point in time, but I had people always come to me, Stephen, what you're doing is wrong. You have so much potential to do so many great things. For 7 years, I didn't listen. It was in the 8th year that I determined to listen because my money got so low that I had no choice but to listen. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. 'Cause now I could say that not only do I have land and homes, I have businesses. I have corporation. I have a corporation incorporated in Delaware, the state of Delaware, that manufactures in Ghana. We ship worldwide. We do all of that. I did $17,000 today. Mind you, I might profit might only be about $4,000, but $4,000 a day, even if you go in a week, it's better than most people get. I still back over here and I work. I work part time. My part time job gives me $1,400 to $1,500 a week. Working 4 hours a day, just driving that little bus. 4 hours a day for all of them. That's it. It determines how you plan things. How you plan things is what determines how you're going to be in the future. You see what I did with my wife. I told my wife when I met her, I said, if you believe that you want to be with me, I need you to believe wholeheartedly. So when we came back to America, when she went to work and I went to work for the same company, every check that she had, she signed it over to me. She said, I trust you with it. And that's what it has to be. But if she didn't trust me with it, and she went her own way, and I went my own way, did everything with my money, or with our money, we'd be in no man's land. But she trusted me enough to say, you know what? I trust you enough as a leader of this household to do what it is that's necessary. And that's why we are where we are today. I wouldn't have been able to buy that land if not for her working hard and giving me everything. I would not have. I wouldn't have been able to have this corporation, built these kente shops all over Kumasi and Ghana. Now we're opening up new ones without her. But she put her money into everything that I was doing. She didn't see herself as I have my direction, she have her direction. She said, you have your direction, so I'm going to put into your direction and you're going to lead this family because I trust you wholeheartedly to make sure that you will provide. We have everything that's necessary for us to eat and sleep. We have that. We have greater things than we did when we first met. That's what a lot of Black people, Black Americans don't understand. And if you've seen my Instagram today, you understand where I'm coming from. But let's get into this Umar Johnson today again. Let's get into him. I'm going to play something for you. And I haven't even heard it from beginning to end. I just played probably a few seconds of it. I said, you know what? I forget about my people when it comes down to Umar, man. I'm here in Philly, or just on the outskirts of Philly. I went to Germantown. I went to Oak Lane. I called my brother up like, hey, on Thursday, like, hey, are we going to be able to hand these flyers out so you can record me talking to people, blah, 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 this thing. Oh, yeah, I do it. I got you. Hey, I'm going to pay you about $100 to do it. You good? We're going to spend about 4 hours. I called him today, no answer. You see, when we're close to success, we either get scared or we hate it. A lot of people who are born on a lower level hate success. Success is there. It's just that we don't want to take hold of it. I remember when I went to MCA Records. When I went to MCA Records at the age of 16, I was about 19 years, no, before then. Say about 17 years old when I went to MCA Records. That's when Heavy D was still there. And I had a group at the time. And we did all our demos. We did everything. And everything was ready to go. So we went there. We drove from Philly to New York City. We was ready to play our demos. I rolled us up. I took us up to MCA Records. Heavy D was there, but it was Tom Guest who heard us, heard our demo, heard everything. It was like, sounds okay, but I did all the production and everything. I wanted to be the Devontae Swing of everything. And for y'all who don't know, Yes, I was close friends with Devontae and all that. We did the Darwin thing. We did all that. But at the time, I wanted to do my own thing, and they wasn't hearing us at the time. Years later, I hear No Diggity, No Doubt from Rex and Effects and Teddy Riley. I'm like, damn, that's pretty much my song that I gave on my demo to MCA. That's pretty much mine. So got the track today. My grandma hold it. I told her hold this in case of anything. But one thing that showed me, it showed me no matter what, whoever can take anything from you, you can redo and remake and do it better. And that's what I realized in life, that I'm able to do things better. Even if someone takes them from me, they make something off it. I could look at their life, and I do look at their life, and I'm like, damn, their life ain't nothing that I want today. Now, 20 years ago, I'm like, okay, they feel like they're winning. Now, 20 years later, damn, I got everything a man can want. Beautiful wife, beautiful children, beautiful home, um, a company that's running and doing things. Still have my looks. I'm just looking like, you know what? That's why you don't cross people. But more so than that, that's why you always look to the future. And us as Black Americans, we don't look to the future as much. As men, we're supposed to look 50 years ahead of time. When I look at my baby daughter, excuse me, when I look at my baby daughter, I look at everything that's going to happen 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. I go into that room with her today and with her mother and my wife. She's thinking about what it is that I'm doing with her right now. Me, my mindset, I'm going to deal with her. I'm going to make sure that she's pleased in every fashion that a husband's supposed to do. But my mindset is still thinking 20 years down the line. How's my daughter going to be? What am I doing to raise my daughter? When I raise her, what type of woman is she going to be? Is she going to be a great submissive wife who can help out another man and be an asset to another man? Being that I want her to speak six different languages, and I'm working on that with her with French, Spanish, um, her Twi, her Krobo, and her Mandarin. Once she turns 6 months, yeah, it's going to be. That's what we as men have to do. We have to look further down the line. See what Umar Johnson does. He looks at the right now. Umar Johnson is a man who looks at the right now. What can I get out of you right now? What can I take from you right now to make my life better? There's no sacrifice. If you look at everything he has done, there has been no sacrifice at all. Sacrifice takes a strong man. For you to take something from your people and live off it, it takes a weak man. Any man can do that. Any man can do that. It doesn't take a strong man. It takes a strong man to say, you know what? I'm not going to benefit out of what I may not benefit what I'm doing today, but I know my children will benefit for it in the future times. That's what I'm about. That's what I believe. So some of the people who may be here or come to watch this video are people I spoke with. On Queen Lane and Wayne Ave. We spent an hour talking, Muslim brother. He wanted to understand how this worked with WeFunder, with the interest, investing, I should say. I spent an hour talking to him. Take nothing bad from that. That hour was plentiful. I loved it because I was able to tell this brother what it is that we're working on. What he talked to me about is that because he owned a store, he's in the lower community, that he get the vibration of all his other Black Americans that's around saying like, oh, you think you're better than us because you got a store and you got your family living out of here. You think you're better than us. He said that it made him feel bad. And I said, it shouldn't, because you should feel you're better than them, because you're doing better than them. It doesn't make you better than them as a human being. It makes you better than them according to what it is that you're doing. And I told him, I don't really care for the low class. The lower class who are out there smoking weed on the corner, selling drugs, and that, let them be who they are. Let them be who they are. That's not who I'm talking to. I talk and preach to the middle class and upper, the middle to the upper class, to the rich and to the wealthy elites. But we as the middle class to the upper middle class, it's going to take us to get our people out of poverty. We already know that the wealthy elites, the athletes, the entertainers, and all of them, they're not going to do it for us. We've seen that. When they go into that, they know that they can't come and help us. Because if they do, everything they have will be taken away from them, i.e., Bill Cosby and so forth. That's just how it goes in this country that we live. But what I'm saying to you, and if you heard my Instagram earlier, I said the same thing. We need to build a bridge and also cut the bridge. What I mean by that, us as Black Americans, we have Africans. There's a bridge that needs to be built so that we come together. But that one that was built from the oppressor, that need to be completely broken down. Completely broken down. You see, what Umar Johnson does, he takes from a lot of women, just like the churches do. Just like the churches do. They take from gullible women, just in the Bible and the Quran. All things are the same. Women are gullible. If you want to admit that or not, that's something that you have to do within your own self. Women are gullible. That's why a lot of men are not in these so-called churches. It's nothing but scamming. Nothing but scamming goes on in the church today. For the last 20, 30, 40, 50, even 60 years, nothing but scamming goes on in church. Umar Johnson picked that up. He said, if these pastors are scamming our people for money, why can't I? And that's basically where he came from. He might have started, a lot of people start out good, but when they see money, Umar Johnson got maybe $1 million or whatever, even going on what he said, $750,000. Most people don't see $750,000. You see that in your bank account, your mind goes wild because you haven't seen it before. You're not built for that. You haven't had generational wealth passed down to you. So you say, okay, I have this, I could do this and make sure that I have something to pass on to my children, their children's children. Whether it's that from inheritance and businesses or life insurance, whatever it is. So we don't do that because we don't know. We don't have the mindset to do it. My whole thing that I do this today is to implore us to have the mindset to do what everybody else is. See, what I done, I took my oppressor, the very one who was the oppressor of my people. I took everything that they know, everything that they understand how they do business. I also done it. I also went back to Africa and said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Now we'll see how they do it. I see how they got it in the game, so I'm going to do it. So now I'm telling my people, we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. And we have to do it together because Africa is not going to get out of their hellhole all alone. Yes, Mali is doing what they do with France, but also they live in not the Franco, but they're leaving the African Union. It's not a good thing. Them leaving France is a good thing. Military rule. That's just one country out of 53. Africa, the continent of Africa, I would say the West, South, and East. The North is not even black. They don't have black skin like us. When you go there, you talk Morocco, Turkey, and all that, and I'm okay with them because when I lived in Turkey, when I visited to Morocco on a yearly basis, I've been treated nothing like a king. And I'm just talking about the women. The men treated me like, damn, much respect. I was treated in Turkey, Morocco with more respect than I've ever been treated in America. So I'm just talking about skin color. But when it do come to skin color, I do understand where we stand in this country of America. And to sit here and take things from our own people and now build a goddamn thing, it's not making us any better. It's just not. You could go with the Umar Johnsons. You could go with the skinny faced black man, whatever his name was, Polite, or whatever his name is. You go with Sinada, whatever his name is. I don't even know half these people. I lived so far away from this country for so many years. I'm just now getting to know these people. And every time somebody show me them, I know they're a scammer. The fact is that my people can't look at somebody and know they're not a scammer. Because they've been scammed for so long with the pastors and the churches. And that's sad. And I'm tired of it. And I can sit here and say that I'm tired of it. But what am I going to do about it? What am I willing to do about it? I don't just sit on my ass and do nothing at all. I can't say that, yes, I left Ghana to come back here to just make everything right for Black Americans. That's not true. It would be a lie. It would be ingenuous to say such a thing. I came here to build more collateral for what it is that I'm doing back there, but also invite my brothers, my Black brothers and sisters, to also see what it is that I'm doing to invest, even if not in me, what other Black Americans are doing there on a continent. I don't really care about businesses. If you don't own the industry itself, a business does not matter. A business is not doing anything for your people. A business is barely keeping you afloat. That's all it's doing. And more so than not, it's going to fail. It's all about industries and owning industries. That's what it takes. It takes us to migrate and integrate with Africa to get there and own industries. Own the land, buy land, build on that land. That's what it's going to take. You're not going to get any political power by sitting here and owning a little small business doing nelleries or selling some fucking bread on the corner. You're not going to get anywhere. We've been doing that for so long, we got nowhere. What it's going to take for us to get in our mindset that this shit ain't right. What we're doing is not right. It's not gotten us anywhere. It changed. It has to change. Something new has to be. Something new has to come about. We had Nkrumah in Ghana. We have Marcus Garvey here in the U.S. Another immigrant from Jamaica, but he tried his best. Didn't have enough people. When you sit here and fight this, you want to fight against your oppressor. The problem is that not only do you fight against your oppressor, you got to fight against 90% of your own people. 90% of your own people want to see you fail. See, I'm going to tell you two things. I have two friends, Black, Terrence Burrow, who I do my music with. The one who made the music in this video, if you've seen on recording, for the album that's coming out, from Brooklyn. No, Brooklyn and Bronx. You always say Brooklyn and Bronx. And Lundy from Haiti. Them brothers, they do their own thing. They have their own wives. They make moves. So when they see me make moves, we can get on the phone. We can keep encouraging each other. We want to see each other win. If I get here, they know they're there. If they get there, they know that I'm with them. But as a group, we don't have that mentality. That crabs in the barrel, I don't even want to talk about that. I'm sick of talking about that shit. Fuck the crabs in the barrel. Put yourself around people who are like-minded, like you. If you're talking about the crabs in the barrel, that's because you continue to put yourself around the wrong people in the first place. You can't put yourself around the same like-minded ones and talk about crabs in the barrel. That shit doesn't exist. It only exists when you're trying to do something, but you want to continue to put yourself around people who are not like you, who don't have the same mindset. They're of the lower class and they want to pull you down. Why the fuck are you messing with them and putting yourself around them in the first place? That's on you. That's on you. You see, with Umar and all these other people, they would tell you that we could do this, that, and other, and donate. Donate to here, donate to there. Fuck a donation. What I'm getting out of it. Fuck a donation, because I already know you ain't building the fucking school. Fuck I'm going to get out of it. Fuck I want my kids being around you. I tell my wife, we're not getting no shots. We're not doing no hepatitis or COVID. We're not doing none of that shit for my kids. We're not doing none of it. We don't need it. She don't need it. I'm not giving my kids none of that. What I will give my kids is the education that I give them. Did I teach them 6 different languages? I know 3. I know 2 proficiently, but I'm going to teach her 6. So she could be a better benefit for her own husband to be. But aside from that, I would never send my child to a public school to be around other people that don't look like her. Even though I'm not Muslim, my wife grew up Muslim, but she's not Muslim because she's with me. Because she goes by my direction. Well, how I direct this home and our faith and everything, the structure of this home goes by me. And that's the way she follows. And the same thing with my children. I would send my children not to a public school, but to a private school, Muslim schools. Montessori schools who are Muslim, they have the best education. Doesn't mean your child got to be Muslim, but they get the best education, discipline. So yes, when it's time for her to intermingle with people, it will be to a Muslim school for people who look just like her, teachers who look just like her, history that can be taught. Then she could come back and be a productive member to our people, not to society, but to our people. You see, man, we don't understand a lot of things. The reason why, I kind of know, but then again, I don't kind of know. I mean, maybe it's my time that I spent. I don't even think it's my time that I spent in many different countries. I don't think it's that because I already had the mindset growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. It's like something ain't right. Something ain't right. When I would ask questions, I would get no reply. I would be like, "Oh, wait on Jehovah. Oh, wait on Jehovah. I mean, he will give you the answer at the end of the days." I'm like, hold up. Don't seem right because the answers in the Bible that you profess to believe in. The answers are right there. The same thing with us. The answers are right here. We have the answers, but we just don't want to abide by them. We don't want to abide by the rules that's going to take us. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right, let's get back to this. Here we go here, real quick. I don't even know who this fucking Mr. C is, man. But this dude sound like a old ass motherfucker. But let him be. But like I was saying, listen, when you had a kingdom who was weaker than the one, you had a kingdom on the left and one who was on the right. When that kingdom on the left was weaker, they would take their women and their daughters and say, hey, we offer your daughters to us because you're stronger than what we are. We have other enemies. They would intermingle. When they did that, they bonded as one kingdom and they became stronger. When they became stronger, when the other kingdoms and the other ones who wanted to war against them, instead of one or the other, you had them mixed together and they gained more strength. And they were able to withhold or withstand the attacks of the kingdoms outside. And that's the same thing with us. Same thing with us. Like I said, man, I'm from South Philly, but I understand that my mindset ain't South Philly. I got that a long time ago. Portuguese and black, but I still identify as a black American. Portuguese and black, but I will still identify as a black American. You understand me? Grew up in a home of a white man, under a white man, Irish white man. Married my aunt. Took me out of the projects at the age of 12 years old, 11 years old, whatever it was. but I still understood a lot of things. I still had a lot of questions. And a lot of people say a lot of bad things about me, but all I ask you, the people who talk shit and criticize, what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck have they ever done? Me, I could say that I own land. I pass land down to my children. I pass homes down to my children. I pass corporations down to my children. If I left this earth today, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing for your own legacy? Saying working a 9 to 5, talking shit on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. That's what it's about for you. That's what it's about. And you don't even feel fucking sad about yourself. You don't even feel sad about yourself. That's the shit that bothers me. That the motherfuckers that be talking shit don't even have anything to pass on to their own children. They don't even have a fucking $100,000 life insurance to pass down. Whole life. I ain't talking about the term life or no shit like that. They don't even have a whole life that they could borrow from in due time when times get hard. They don't have shit. They would talk shit about you, who are the minority people of us who trying to do things. And when I say minority, in my fashion, I'm talking about the 10% of 100%. The other 90% of black people, fuck them. They ain't trying to do shit. They never will. It's a 10%. Because when the other people talk about minority, white women, Asians, Indians, Latino descent, all that shit don't matter to me. That's why I don't even listen to when somebody say, oh, there's a minority program. Fuck it. I don't care. Black, foundational black. We born from slavery. We sit here, we came out of nothing. Came out of nothing. Now we're building something. Then you got our own women sitting here and like, hey, I want a man who's high value, making 7 figures, making $1 million, and they ain't come from fucking nothing. Their fathers came from nothing. Their mothers came from nothing. And this is shit that's in our mind today. You see how we so fucked up? You see why I do what it is that I do? You see why I do what it is that I do? I do what I do for a reason. Because I believe intermingling with that pure African blood to build more warriors than what we have. The majority of black men in America are fucking bitches. They're fucking bitches. I don't care about the alphabet people. I don't care nothing about that. I'm not even talking to them. They have nothing to do with what it is I'm talking about. I'm talking about the heterosexual so-called man. These men are fucking so feminine in their feelings all the time. Weak ass men. Fucking weak. And half of them are talking about, oh, I want this type of woman, this type of woman, that type of woman. These men are so fucking weak because it was raised by the wrong type of environment. I'm not going to get to the single mother, this and the other. I know Umar's going to take her for that, and Derek Jackson or whoever's name going to take her for that. But even I get a lot of fucking weak men that will message me. They're fucking weak. Because they know that they can't lead a woman. They know that a woman will not follow them. They know that. Not even an African woman who already born to be submissive will follow them. They're fucking weak. We need strong men in this game. And it's only a few of us. God damn, I thought I turned it off. That's what you get when you don't pay attention. The wife won't be mad. Let me see what I got here. All right. So, basically, let's hear Umar Johnson talk, man. We've been talking for a while. Let's hear him talk. Do I got this?
And we don't want to admit it either. We'll be the first ones to say we need to stop hating each other. And right after we say that, we'll go outside and hate on another black person. You know, we all feel that we're the exception to the rule, and none of us are the exceptions to the rule. If you did not know what Black America was going through, if you did not know what Black America was going through, You would not know looking at black people. We don't show no evidence that we're at war. We show no evidence that we are at war. Go outside and look what Negroes are doing. Smoking weed, partying, shopping. You would not know that our children are catching the hell that they catch. You would not know that we don't own hardly anything. You would not know that there's a police genocide problem because black people are totally interested in ignoring their problems as a way to make them go away.
Now that part, I agree with Umar on that. But he's a problem also. He adds on to that problem. I'm not saying about the smoking this and the other and whatever, smoke weed and all that to make our problems go away instead of fighting it. But he's also a problem because he's taken away from a community that he's not giving back to when he promised to. But let's go on.
And how do we live this? What do we do as black women sort of having to support this? You know, what do we do?
Mr. C, get the fuck off my live right now.
Well, we need unity.
I don't like you, bro.
But
get
unity is difficult. Because black people aren't interested in being black people. We have a transracial consciousness where our biggest strategy for dealing with racism, and this has been for our 400 years under British North American oppression, our biggest strategy has been to try to get white people not to see us as black. It's a ridiculous strategy. It is a suicidal strategy, but that's what we do. We believe we can deal with racism by trying to convince white people that although our skin is black, we're not black. We also try to eliminate our problems by not thinking about them. We are very dysfunctional because we hate who we are. We don't like how we're treated, but our problem is not with racism. Our problem is with the treatment.
Ho. Let me ask you this. He's talking about skin color, but Umar Johnson is the same one who's saying that he's always talking about skin color. I want me a light-skinned bunny. I want me a light-skinned black American woman. He's the very one talking about the very thing that he's talking against. So if you put two different viewpoints of Umar Johnson, they'd be at odds with each other. They are in disagreement with each other. That's why I say he's so much of a hypocrite. And yes, we are hypocrites at one time or another, but he's so much more of a hypocrite than the average person. That's what makes him so much worse because he's taking money from others. And then he's so hypocritical about it. Let's continue.
That racism gives us. Black people don't have a problem with white people being in charge. Most black people want white people.
He said black people don't have an issue with white people being in charge. With white people in charge, we see how the justice system is ran, how this country's ran. So when you say that black people don't have an issue with white people being in charge, what the fuck are you doing in school? Why are you here? Because I really don't get it. If you don't have an issue with white people being in charge, why are you here? Did you get some money from somebody white and say, hey, instead of that little $10 I'm going to give you that everybody else giving you, I'm going to give you $100,000, but I need you to say this, I need you to do that, I need you to do this. You need to buck and dance a little bit. You know what I mean? So maneuver your way out of it. For all that shit you've been talking about white people. Because why else would he say that black people don't have any issue with the way white people run things? Doesn't sound right to me. It sounds very weird.
In charge. Most black people would not function effectively unless it's white people telling them what to do. So it's going to be difficult to get out of this because,
again, he just stated that black people cannot function without white people being in charge. I kind of get where he's coming from, but I kind of don't. Because the thing I say is that the right type of black people, the ones who are in the grassroots and so forth, if they're in charge, then we know that we have justice in this world. We have justice in this country. I don't know if he's talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays or whatnot, but if he's talking about that means he's associated with them. That means that's who he is. So when you say that black people can't do well without being under the oppression of white people, which Umar Johnson just said. He just stated that us as black people cannot do well without being under the thumbnail of white people. Your leader just said this. I don't believe that. I believe that if the black people who are in the grassroots and those who are truly pushing for change are in charge, that this country would change overnight. So I don't agree with Umar. Let's go.
Although we are in a fight for our lives, we don't care about nobody else but ourselves. We're totally individualistic. Black people have no nationalist mindset whatsoever. We don't have a nation mindset. Everyone in America has a nation mindset. Arabs have a nation mindset. European Jews have a nation mindset.
Have you realized what I said early on, that when you intermingle with Africans, that we marry them? Now we have a nation. We have a nation that back us. Because if your daughter or your son is have that and have this, the nation is behind them because they belong to them. And it will fluctuate through our generations upon generations. So then we will have it. How is it that I'm able to bring these solutions, but your so-called fucking leader can't bring solutions to these things? You got to tell me. You got to let me know, man. Because I don't know. I don't understand. We love to talk.
Mindset. East Indians have a nation mindset. Anglo-Saxons have a nation mindset. Chinese have a nation mindset. Slavery obliterated the black man and woman's nation mindset. We don't have a nation mindset. We are very few black people wake up saying, what can I do to improve my people today? Very few of us, and most of us were raised with a very selfish Islam and a very selfish Christianity that said the only people you should care about is people who pray like you. So, you know, when I was raised Muslim, we never had a conversation in the mosque about what we can do for the black community. Never. In fact, anybody who brings up black consciousness in the Philadelphia Masjid will be repudiated. They don't want to hear nothing about no black pride, nothing about no black culture. But at the same time, they will imitate the hell out of Arabs. They want to talk like Arabs, walk like Arabs, dress like Arabs.
Now, I get where he's coming from, but I will say this. Because I actually read the whole Bible, all 66 books, from beginning to end more than once. That book told me that everything that I do in this life have to be for my own people. Not only do I have to speak the word of God and spread his word, but just as much I have to do for my own people. We have to do for ourselves. We have to lift ourselves out of any oppression that people put down on us. If you read the Bible, that's what it tells you. Don't tell you to be selfish. It tells you to do for brother. Treat brother just like you would treat thyself. I hate saying thy. Treat yourself. We don't speak in that goddamn Romeo and Juliet and Shakespeare, whatever. It was never written that way. But we somehow got that translation. So if you ever actually read the Bible, it will tell you that the same thing that I live by now, because I actually read it. Most people would say they go to church, but they never read the goddamn Bible. They never read a fucking book in the Bible from start to finish, let alone 66 books. But when you read it, you realize that, you know what? You don't live for yourself, but you live for your people. God is using you to bring your people out of oppression, just like Moses. Moses did it as a singularity. We're doing it as group-wise. We're a group that has to do it. But that's what the Bible tells you. But because people speak on something they have not read, they will go read 100 other books. The one book they criticize is the one they have not read. You cannot read that book and determine that you're going to live your life according to yourself. When you read that book from start to finish, you're going to realize that your life is not your own and you're not living your life for yourself anymore. You have to dedicate your life to your people to get them from out the oppression that this world has put us under. And from then on, you do everything else that's necessary for your family. But like I said, I digress. Let's go on.
Eat like Arabs. They don't want their own culture, but they will love someone else's. So again, as long as we are not interested in being who we are, you're not going to solve this problem. And, you know, every black person thinks they're the exception to the rule. And that's another problem we have. So many black people think white people are going to see me as different. We have this sick mindset that says I'm the exception. There are no exceptions. White supremacy accounts for everybody. You know, so we need the unity, but there's so much self-hatred. I mean, there's nothing but self-hatred. I was in Chicago last week at the Culture Connection. Beautiful question and answer session we had there. But there was a coon, a hating ass dude from the conscious community who came into the Q&A, and he Facebook Lived it. I didn't know this. And he told people on the Facebook Live that he spoke to me and I didn't speak back, which wasn't true. I never even noticed him speaking to me. In fact, he didn't speak to me. He lied. He did not speak to me. But someone said he claimed he gave me a salute or something like that. Now, why he would think I was thinking about him when I'm trying to engage my Chicago family is beyond me. And then he also posted another comment about how I called Brother Kaz, one of the elders there, how I called him an elder, which I did because he's my elder. And that was a title of respect that I gave him. You know, he didn't take it offensively, neither did I, because it was a title of respect. But just to show you how much hate we're filled with, here's a perfectly positive event, and some coon from the conscious community who considers himself a conscious leader or whatever comes into my event and starts some negativity like that. Now, I don't like the guy. You know, he's always saying little disrespectful things. I'm not going to call his name because he's a nobody to me, you know, but I will tell him this. I didn't like what you did. And I'm going to ask you, don't ever do that again. He knows who I'm talking to. But we're just so filled with evil and negativity. That's all we have for each other, you know, and we don't want to admit it either. We'll be the first ones to say we need to stop hating each other. And right after we say that, we'll go outside and hate on another black person. You know, we all...
See, this is the problem that I have. Because Umar does the same thing. He hates on anybody who disagrees with him. He's not the end-all, be-all, anything. But he hates on anybody who disagrees with him. He calls them coons. And it's like once you disagree with this brother, you're an enemy. But this is why I say he's such a hypocrite. He doesn't even understand that the very things he says is hypocritical each way. He could defy himself within the matter of 60 seconds in one conversation, one paragraph. And that's really hard to do. Normally that's for people who are not educated at all, but Umar is very educated. Yet, he seems to do this over and over and over again. To me, I don't understand it. I really don't. Mr. C, I put the link up there. If you want to come on right now. Before we close the show, if you want to come on and talk this mess, talk what you got to talk, come on right now, man. Me, I don't really flee from anything, man. It's fight or fight. But me, I could have stayed in Ghana and Nigeria and do what I was doing. And then sometimes when I get up, I'm like, damn. I want to say to myself, damn, I should have just stayed where I was at, living life the way that I was living. And I used to always see that everything that was going on TV, I used to tell my wife, I want to go back home. I want to help my people. I want to find a way to help. I want to find a way to do something better. She always told me, if that's what you believe, then do it, and I'm with you. I'll follow wherever you go. I believe in you. And I can't even look at her and tell her that, you know what, sometimes I regret it. Because sometimes I do. But I know that that comes with the territory. That's just something that I got to fight through. But I don't know what the hell this is. People doing or whatever. So we're going to call this brother and Mr. C. He seems like to be a Umar Johnson supporter. So we're going to try to bring this guy in. Let me see if I could. I don't know really how to get him in here. So let's see if we get him in here. so he could defend Umar and everything that he's doing. Not his talk, but his actions. Mr. C, if you're here, I know you're Umar Johnson supporter, but come on here and defend your um God. So I put the link right there for you to click on, and I would definitely invite you in there. Let's see if I can do it. So I think I did what I'm supposed to do. I'll put it in a link description one more time. All right. So until you're ready to come on here live and stop writing 45, 50 messages, just come here and defend your God. Like what I'm saying, I could go out and go door to door, knock on people's doors, and let them know what it is that I'm doing. Whether they invest or not, that I can't tell. Can't tell. We don't have the mindset to do anything great in this world. I'm trying to change it. It's not going to be changed from me landing 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking days ago to get my passport and all that shit. That's not going to change. It's going to take a lot of work. A lot of me convincing a lot of people to get out of their slavery mindsets. That's just how it is. That's just how it will be. Your God is not over me. Your God is not better than me. Your God, Umar Jim Jones Johnson, is not better than me. The one thing I can say is that everything that I do is controlled by the SEC through Weed Funder. So I'm regulated. So I'm not here to take donations of anybody. I'm not here for that. When I talk about industries and investing, I'm not here to take donations from anybody. Everything that I do is regulated by the SEC in the United States of America. And then when I do what I do in Ghana, it's also regulated by the Commission Board. So, I mean, what do you really have to say against me? Because I would love to know. Umar is a fraud. Umar has, I won't say always been a fraud, but Umar is a fraud today. For the last 5 years, he's been a fraud. Umar is not someone that anyone should believe or can believe. And those who do believe are just being led into the fire. And that's just what it is. But let me see if he got anything else to say. Come on, Umar. What else you got to say, Umar?
I'm gonna be your killer. Nobody gonna play with you when I'm with you. Go against any nigga.
All right, that's enough, Umar. We heard enough. You heard that from Umar? Oh my goodness! Did you just say that from Umar? You hear how he talk? Let's hear how Umar talk now. When that should go in my ear. When Umar talk, how it go in my ear? This is how it sounds right now.
Like fuck this glitter. Ski off third on bitch. I put it in for you. I spin for you.
Look at what it sounds when Umar talks to me these days, man. That's just what it sounds like to me. But all right, let's see what else you got to say.
Feel that we're the exception to the rule, and none of us are the exceptions to the rule. You know, and that's why for me, the children are the solution. The children are the solution, because I believe only if we effectively educate the children can we begin to bring an end to this, because the mentality of today's African American is toxic. We are a toxic people. We are absolutely toxic. You can't find another people whose children are catching the hell that our children are catching, who would ignore it and consider to spend and continue to spend their money on cars, clothes, hair, vacations, nightclubs, music. If you did not know what Black America was going through, if you did not know what Black America was going through, you would not know looking at Black people. We don't show no evidence that we're at war. We show no evidence that we are at war. Go outside and look what Negroes are doing. Smoking weed, partying, shopping. You would not know that our children are catching the hell that they catch. You would not know that we don't own hardly anything. You would not know that there's a police genocide problem, because Black people are totally interested in ignoring their problems as a way to make them go away.
That much I do agree with. Our people are the only ones who don't fight anymore. Our ancestors fought. They fought. They had slave revolts. They have all of that. Even in the 1960s, they fought against their oppressors. Today, after integration, we don't fight for anything. We're just happy to be here. And you wonder why Africans and everyone else, Indians, Chinese, look down at us. You wonder why. You wonder why. You wonder why. Me, I don't wonder why. I see why. There's a lot that goes into it. Social media plays a lot into it, but at the end of the day, it couldn't have that great of an influence if you didn't allow it as a parent. Black people are the most gullible people on the face of the earth. In Africa, we have everything that's necessary to cut out all others and live amongst themselves. In Black America, we have all the buying power to cut everybody off and make them do what it is that we want them to do. We are so gullible. And the fact that there's only a few people that think like me will not change anything. That's why I say that what I'm doing is not to change our people, because it's impossible for one man or even a group of men to change, but to start to change, to be an example of what we can do. And maybe generations after generations after generations can pick up on it. I do what I do today. We integrate. We built industries in Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. We take hold of all these industries, then build up. Now we have these industries. The generations after us could build off it. But the problem with Black America is that if I'm not going to benefit from it today, then I don't. That's us. As we can't benefit off of today because we don't give a fuck about our children. When a woman could say that, yeah, I'm keeping her from her dad or his dad because I hate him, that tells you that Black Americans don't give a fuck about their children. We don't. We need to be honest with ourselves. We don't give a fuck about our children or our legacies. We care about how we could ball out today. That's why we're dying. That's why we get taken advantage of. That's why nobody cares about us. That's why people look down at us. We're a dysfunctional race of people. We could sit here and talk about slavery all we want, but you have more buying power as a people. We have more buying power as a people than anybody else in this goddamn country. So no longer can you blame the white man. It's going to be injustices? Absolutely. Absolutely. But until you control your buying power, it's going to remain that way. And like I said, until we invest in a continent where we could get real political power, we could build up industries, it's going to remain that way. Power does not come by building a fucking small business on the corner doing a fucking Nellery. It does not. That is not power. That is you getting enough that you don't have to get fucking food stamps for the month. Until your business go down and things ain't right and COVID hits again and then you got to go back on food stamps. That's what that shit means. That's what that means. When y'all ready to really move to the next level, there's plenty of people like me here. We're readily willing to network. But we can't do it alone. Because there's only 10% of us and 90% of you. The 10% of us got to go against the 90% of you and then the 90% of all other races. It's impossible to overcome. You can't overcome that at all. You just can't. It's sad, but you can't overcome it at all. As much as I and everybody else who, even the people out there doing the grassroots and all that, who speak, do this, do so much, they can't overcome it. There's too many of us that are brain dead or already have the white supremacists in us. So many of us without even knowing. Not even knowing. When it comes to us trusting each other, we're taught not to trust each other because we've been broken down so much. We've been broken by so many people like Umar, brother. I hate fucking calling that nigga brother. But so many brothers, so many people like Polite, and I don't want to say Seti because I don't know him. I never watched his video. I just heard his name. But from what I hear, it's nothing but bad things, nothing good. But my thing is, why not get a hold of people who are in the continent, who are American, Black American, who are in the continent and in America, and really trying to network with each other? You see this? This is what you need to be a citizen. Again, is this the new one? That's 1 year. Citizen for 2 years. My other passport, like I said, it's all done. My passport, my yellow fever shot. I burned my passport out in just 6 years by traveling over 40 times. Just 6 years. Whether it was Egypt, Togo, Nigeria, or Morocco, or Turkey. Done all that. Been all there places. I play the games. I mean, yeah, is it nice to get online, type something in, get a girl that you see, go to Turkey and go mix up with her, blah, 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 type this and then, yeah, I like to see, I'm Black America, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I like Black Americans. Go over there, sleep for 2 weeks, deal with her, go to Morocco, go to Egypt, go to all these countries. Is it nice? Yes, it's nice. But it gets you nowhere. We're not doing anything for ourselves. And we have to start getting the younger people to listen to the older people who have done it and see that the end and the outcome is not a great one. We'll be right back where we started. We have to begin to do something different. And when I say do something different, it means doing something different than 1965, 75, 85, 95, 2005, 2020 even. All that, it was for the time period that we done it. We have to do something different now. All this donating to all these people online say, donate to me, I'm doing this, donate to me, I'm doing that, donate. No, that's out the books now. If you're not doing nothing that's going to get me and put something in my pocket at some point in time, fuck the donations, man. Fuck it. I'm going to network with you. I'm going to invest, and you're going to invest in me. We're going to invest in each other as a group. We're going to trust each other. But to trust each other, we're going to have people who have to overlook this. Overlook what it is that you're doing. You just can't come to me and say, hey, come and invest. Not believe that shit. This has been going on for a long time. If you want to get JT pocket watchers to be the oversight or overseer or whoever, fine. Get together a conglomerate. Get together a group of people who can oversee Black people who are coming saying, hey, listen, I got a great investment that could turn things around or help turn things around, because there's no one-stop shop to anything. Even what I'm doing, there's no one-stop shop. This is going to take time. It's going to take time. But you have to know that it's legit, that nobody's stringing you along. We as a people need to create a group of people that we can trust, that has been proven to be trusted. cayenne pepper is still getting to me. We need a group of people that we can trust. We need to form a bank, form something together and say, hey, I'm going to invest in this, but you have to oversee it. You have to look on. We have Weed Funded. We have Start Engine and Weed Funded, which I'm under. My corporation is under that. So it's controlled by the SEC. So there's no way that I can do anything wrong to anyone. But not everybody's like that. There are some brothers with a lot of great ideas. You see the brother in Kenya who created the glove that you use, and it can speak sign language with audio by doing sign language with the hand with a glove. You've seen the other brother who created the TV that doesn't take any cords, doesn't have to be plugged up into electricity. The first heart transplant was done from a Nigerian man. When you watch that movie with Will Smith about CTE, that was brought about by a Nigerian man. There is so much talent in Africa. We already know what we have in America, that the majority is created in America that we've done, but we didn't get credit for. We know that being a slave, that you were told as a slave that you could get out of slavery or your load could be lessened if you create something great that would benefit us white people, and we take it, trademark it, and make it our own. We know that. We know that we are the creators in this world. Everything that's, I won't even say everything, 90% of everything that's created in this world was by us, because God gave us that. He didn't just give us the land, the continent of Africa with all the riches and the soils of everything. He didn't give us just all the resources, but he gave us the mindset to be the creators of everything. We have to understand this. There has to be a way. We can't just keep doing what we've been doing, man. Doing what we've been doing is just not working. It's just not working, and it hasn't worked. It's proven not to work. Got to do something differently. We need better leaders who will step up and stop talking, but do the work. Putting your life on the line. Is it going to take your life being online? Yeah, so be it. That's why we have life insurance for our families to go on and take care of themselves. For your wife to go on, if she has to marry another, so be it. But there's a financial stability there. And she understands who you are, to go down and marry someone else like that, to still benefit the. Listen, man, this takes sacrifices, what I'm telling you. Everything that I'm talking about is going to take sacrifice. We can't sit here and think that we're just going to be on YouTube for the next 10, 20 years of our life. At some point, none of this stuff is going to exist. It's going to be so dumbing down that anything that we say that is for Black empowerment is going to be resented and marked and scratched and blocked. But we have brothers and sisters in America, brothers and sisters in Africa who could build these very same platforms that we are on. We just have to be able to invest. One investment builds the next investment. That's how it works. You don't invest in one thing and think it's going to conquer everything. You invest in this, then you take that money, invest in the next. You take that money, invest in the next. Then you find your place. It's not going to be given to us, man. We're going to have to fight for this. You can think whatever you want about me and about my past dealings with women, this and the other. One thing everybody can tell you, that every time that I talk, every time that I speak, whether I'm in bed with this and the other, before I was married, whatever, it was always about, it's always like, how do I help my own people? It didn't matter where I was at. It didn't matter what country I was in. But I always spoke them same words. They used to always say that, why don't you go back to your people and do something? And I used to always say that, well, I'm just one person. What I'm going to do? It wasn't until my wife came along and told me, yeah, you one person, but everything starts from one person. And she always pointed out in Nkrumah from Ghana. And when I started to think about it more and more, I realized, you know what? One person might not be able to change it right away, but Tupac said the same thing, that I might not be the one to change anything, but I guarantee you that I will be the one to spark the mind that will. And I guarantee you that's why I'm here, that even though whatever I'm able to do, how much I'm able to accomplish, if I'm able to accomplish everything, it still will not take us out of the position. It will be an example, but that example will spark the mind that would get us out of the predicament that we are in. And it will take many minds from both places, both continents, both from Black America, both from Africa, to get us out of this predicament. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself. I really do. My wife just say, just keep going on. My pastor told me he used to, when he was there at 42nd and Chestnut, where the Church of God is, which I used to attend. He say, Stephen, even if it was one person in a pew, even if it was one person sitting in the audience, I will preach the same way as if it was 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. My preaching did not change because it was 1 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. It remained the same. And that's what I took from. And that's why I do and speak the way that I do today, as if 1,000, 10,000 people were hearing me. Even if it's one, but I speak as if it was 10,000 hearing me. We need leaders. We need younger leaders. We need better leaders, even better leaders than what I am. We need them. We have to build them up. We can't build them up from single parent homes. We have to build them up from the structure of a mother and a father who understands the plight of the Black man, who could relate to Julius Lamilla in South Africa. We have to have better leaders that we raise that who can identify with Salahis. I know I mess a lot of names up, and I'm Ethiopia. Better leaders, just like in Ghana, in Nkrumah. Better leaders, like from immigrant to America, like Marcus Garvey. We need better leaders, but we can't have better leaders without homes. Without a fully capable home, we cannot have better leaders. All we raising up is someone to do and raise up to go get a job, 9 to 5, become something that they think is great and take care of their mom. That's not being a leader. That's not changing our plight and our history, where we stand today. It's not changing anything. The things that we do have not changed anything. We're still in the same place as yesterday. We have not changed anything. And we're so afraid to do something different. And that's why we remain where we are. I remember my mother told me one day, I started going by the name Daylo when I was like 15 years old. And my mama was like, if you think that name is better for you, then take that name on yourself and change your name. She didn't even care. What my mother was saying to me, even though she didn't raise me, I didn't know my mother until 6 months before she passed away. First time I really got to know my mother, 6 months before she passed away. She said to me, you want to be a leader, but if you want to change your name, do it, whatever. I believe in you. Didn't know her from scratch. She didn't know me much, but she believed in me. When times that I spent in Ghana all these years, everybody would walk up and say, God is waiting on you. And I've understood that. To this day, I still don't understand that. Me, I'm a nobody. Do I have a company? Yes. Is it progressing? Is it making good money? Yes. Am I able to take care of my family? Yes. Am I able to take care of my daughters, my sons, Am I able to do nice things for them? Yes. Does that make me a man? In normality, yes, it does. But does that make me does that benefit my people? Small, in a small fraction, it does. But am I happy with that? No. Should you be happy with that? That's something you have to ask yourself. Are you happy with doing the minimum, the bare minimum for your people? Are you happy with just doing the bare minimum for your people? Are you happy with being able to go out and work a 9 to 5 job, come home, bring the paycheck back, pay the rent, pay the electric, pay the gas and the water, or whatever it is, and take your wife and your children out for once a month or twice a month? Are you happy with that? How's that benefiting your people? Are you happy with getting your check and sending your kids to the store at the corner when the people don't look like you, but they do the very things that you should be able to do for your own? Are you happy with being able to get your paycheck and be like, oh, we got about $50 or $75 to spend and get some fast food today. So let's call up and dial up the pizza man. Are you happy with calling up that man who do not look like you, who will not turn that 15, 20, 40, $50 that you spent and spend any of that in your own community? Are you happy with that? Are you happy with going and buying your beer, your cigarettes, or your chips or anything at the local Chinaman store and saying, yeah, big up, Mr. Lee. That's what's up, Mr. Lee. Man, I like you, Mr. Lee. Yo, Mr. Lee, you know what I mean? Yo, you cool, you cool China, but you cool, bro. You cool, bro. You know what I mean? I fucks with you. I fuck with you, Lee. I fucks with you, Lee. Then Lee, take everything that you own, take it back to his kids, and then send his kids off the couch while your kids in the fucking ghetto in public school getting berated by white teachers that don't give a fuck about your kids and they want to see you fail and they don't want to see you overtake them. Are you happy with that? I'm just asking you. I'm not pointing no fingers. I got 5 fingers, but I'm not pointing any. My fingers is pointing up, not at you. Are you happy with that shit? Are you happy? Because to me, it seems that you're happy. To me, it seems that this is what you want. Because a people who want differently will do differently. A people who are comfortable with the status quo will remain in the status quo. So you're satisfied. So don't ever fucking complain about white people. Don't ever fucking complain about white people. Or you sit here and give your money to everybody else. Don't ever fucking complain to anybody, especially your children. Because your children going to look at you like, damn, daddy and mommy always complaining about everybody else, but they don't got shit going for themselves. They don't do anything. You think your kids don't think about that about you? Think again. They do think about it. Even at the age of 10 years old, they're thinking about it. Mommy sent me to the Chinese or the Puerto Rican store, but she always complaining about that they own everything. But mommy is quick to spend her money with them. So mommy okay with it. If she okay with it, then I guess I'm okay with it. Do something different. If you're really tired of this, do something different. Because what you've been doing ain't getting it. What you've been doing hasn't been working. What I'm doing and what I've put up and the plan that I put forward has the ability to work more than anything that we ever done. Marrying Ghana has the ability to not just be an example, but to be the main thing that shows Black America that we always had these opportunities, but we never understood them. So yes, I believe that my company, my corporation, is the one who has the ability to do these things. If it doesn't, tell me why, because I would love to know. I would love to know. I'm up for criticism. I don't block anybody. The only people I block is goddamn white supremacist racists that come on my um, videos and talk dumb shit. That I'm not saying doing that for them. I walked up. Matter of fact, when I walked up to house today, before I talked with the brother Heem or whatever, spent an hour. I walked up to right off Alany Ave. What was it? Logan, excuse me. Right off Broad and Logan. I'm sitting out here. We're handing out flyers, putting everything in people's mailboxes. Now, get this white couple who moving stuff from their SUV or whatever. She's like, "Oh no, we okay. We're okay." And I'm like, "Oh no, no, no. Are your neighbors black?" She's like, "Why? Why you ask?" I'm like, "Oh, because what I'm doing is not for white people. It's only for black people solely." Like, well, why is that? I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Are they black?" She turned her head, didn't say anything to me. So I don't even know if they were black or not. I still put it in their mailbox. But it just goes to show that anytime we're willing to do something for ourselves, we're not going to be supported. That's why we have to support each other. That's why it's so important that we support each other. And each other, this black business thing, yes, I see it. Do I have a black business? Yes, I do. Do people support me? The majority of my clients are not even in America. Majority of my clients is in Denmark, France, Canada, and UK. That's the majority of my clientele. I'm not sitting here bitching about it. What I'm saying is that the opportunity that exists, we need to take hold of it. You can go on marryingghana.com. You can see my plans. You could publicly. You can go in and see how much money I make with Etsy, Shopify, Amazon. It's there for public consumption, public views. You go in and see that. I know what it is that I'm doing. Do I know everything? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know everything. Even though I have a team working around me and with me, I still don't know everything, and they don't know everything. We work good together, but I want others to come into this so that we can build this even bigger, that we can own this entire industry. What Umar Johnson is talking about is a school that is never going to be built, and 10 years have never been built, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever you want to say. You give whatever mark you want to him, but it's never been built. It's never going to be built. But even if it was, by some stretch of the imagination that a comet hit the earth and it splatter these chemicals to everybody's brains, and these chemicals said, okay, we're going to invest in Umar Johnson. No, we're going to give him enough money to build a school. The brother still won't build a school. He just won't. He doesn't have the mindset. What it takes to get through this oppression is a mindset of true warriors, true people who are down, no matter the down, no matter the out, who are truly going to put their head down to stay focused and do what it is that they need to do. Umar Johnson is not focused. He's focused on women's cookies. That's why he talks about it 80% of the time. You catch one video or two like this that I just played that Umar would talk about something realistically, but 80% of the time he's talking about women. Me, I don't give a fuck about that. I have my family. My family is my focus inside of this house. When I walk outside of this house, my people are my focus. That is my purpose. When I come back home, my family is my purpose, and that's that. After I wake up and deal with them, get on my computer or go out to make whatever, everything else, my purpose is my purpose. See, a man without a family can't be trusted. And that's why the Bible said that in order to be a pastor, you have to be a man with one wife who is in control of his home, because it shows that you're capable to run something. A man who does not run or is able or who has a home to run is not capable of running anything. You can't change history. You can't change facts. These are facts. That's why you see these people who have no home to run, that they run around talking, even if they got a slick tongue. The minute you give them an opportunity, they run and make it for themselves and all about themselves. They make it all about themselves. That's all they know. But a man who has to build and work and care for a family knows that it's bigger than him. He knows that what he's doing is bigger than who he is. And that's what these people who are in this conscious community don't understand. They're all single. They're all running around with different women. They don't have any true foundation with them. How can you allow your trust to be in a person who can't even have a foundation on their own? It befuddles me. It always has. That's why I never came to my people unless I was able to learn and see that. Let me see if I can run a home, if I could raise up a family, and I could control that in the way that I'm the leader and they follow me. Because if I can't do that, then I'm not equipped to lead anyone else. I'm just not. But I had to do that first in order that I come back to you as my people and show you that I am able to lead. I remember going to Santander Bank with my wife. This was just about a year ago. Maybe, let me not tell you the month because I'll be lying if I say I remember it. And she was opening up her first, this was actually 2 years ago, and 2020, because we're in 2022. So she went to Santander, opened her first bank account, white lady sitting there, young white girl. We talked, and I told her that day, she like, because I was directing everything. She like, oh, you should be a mayor. You should be mayor of the city. Oh, one day I would think about it. One day I would truly think about it. Do I think about it today? Absolutely. Do I think about going and getting 10,000 signatures so I get my name on the ballot, and not this election, but the next election for mayor of Philadelphia? Absolutely. Will I do it? No, I don't know. When I'm in the doctor's office, because I researched so much about vaccines and shots and so forth, just like the other day, the lady's like, oh, are you a nurse? I said, no, I'm not a nurse. But she thought I was a nurse because I understood the ramifications and the dangers and that which is and that which can be as far as what can happen with certain shots. She's like, oh, are you a nurse? Do you work in the medical field? No, but I research. She thought I was. The same thing with us. We need to research the people that we want to put our trust in. We need to research the people that we put our trust in. And we're programmed to put our trust in anything that sounds good to us. Anybody who comes on and says something sounds good, they're doing this, they say that, oh, I'm black, I'm against this, I'm against that, I'm for this. Then we're like, oh, they one of us. Not knowing wholeheartedly they truly against us. That's why one have to do their research. I would say research me wholeheartedly. Research me from beginning to end. I hold no bars. I know who I am. I know what it is that I'm here to do. For me to be here is a blessing because I didn't have to be here. I could have been taken away many years ago. Many things that I have done. The way that I live my life, sometimes I think, how the hell did I here? But I know by grace and mercy. And that's why I show grace and mercy to others. If you truly want to do this work, it's going to take you. It's going to start with you. It can't start with this one or Professor Truth or Tariq or Black Channel. It can't start with any of them. It can't start with me. It has to start with you. You have to say, okay, you know what? I'm willing to work with and network and put my trust in and find a way out of this. As long as we continue to distrust each other, we're not going to get anywhere. It's been set up and programmed in us for so long not to trust each other. I've been through mistrust in Africa. The team that I have now, it took me 10 years to build this team. I had people who scammed, who lied, cheated, stole. I dealt with all of that. I lost tens of thousands of dollars over the course of years. I've done that. But it never allowed me to stop what it is that I had on my mind to do. I'm just saying in the last 4 or 5 years, not 10 or whatever. 10 years, yeah, people did me wrong, but I was living wrong. So it's not like I didn't deserve it either. Like, even though I didn't deserve what they did, but I wasn't living right in the first place. So it is what it is. Oh, man. So we're going to get into this. Let me see if Umar Johnson got anything else to say.
It is absolutely sick, and I really just believe that this war couldn't have came at a worse time. This war couldn't have come at the worst time because you're dealing with the worst, mentally worse African American. But I want to get off the soapbox because I know we got some other callers on there. But
I do. Whoever that is, mute your phone. Like, really?
I know. They never mute the phones. No problem, sister.
I say all the good things that the Most High brings.
Thank you.
I guess that's it. Like I said, man, I'm glad I get along with a lot of my African brothers and sisters. We was able to do the Instagram Live today. If you guys didn't check it out, check out the Instagram Live. And like I said, I'm putting my Nigerians and my Ghanaians on because I know them. I'm closer to them. And we're going to continue to do what it is that we're doing and putting a message out there about not interracial, but integrating ourselves with African women and, vice versa, but more so Black men with African women. And like I said, other than that, I'm just glad y'all tuned in today. And like I said, man, continue to research, continue to do what it is that you're doing. Look up marryingghana.com. If you have something else that you want to invest in Africa, let me know because I also want to be an investor to other projects as myself. I'm invested in Nightscope, Jet Token, and the other one, the third one, Rubicon. That's way out of here. So it just shows you that something can go up and come down. But the thing about what I do is that Kente cloth is a stabilized investment. It's stabilized, being that Kente will always be around for what's Africans and Africans alike. Funerals, weddings, so forth. But like I said, man, you don't have to listen to me. It's not that you have to invest in what I'm saying, but invest in something, invest your time and money that's something that's going to build your family up. And not on shoes, Jordans, and cars just to impress, chick on the street or whatever. All that stuff gets us nowhere, man. Do something that is going to benefit your future, your family. What you do now, today, you have to look at and say, I'm doing this because it's going to benefit my future family. And if you think that way, you'll always be on the right track to do things in life. All right? All right, man, I'm out. And I think we had a good broadcast, 3 people here. And catch us back on Monday. We'll be back on our podcast. It'll be from YouTube and Facebook for our podcast. And we'll be back on Friday and Saturday doing our matchmakers on live Instagram. So love you guys. You guys are my people. No matter how much we bicker, how much we go at each other, at the end of the day, we all still brothers. We all still sisters, man. We still got to show love to each other. Love you regardless. Be safe. Be blessed.